We got first up Thursday Night Football, Chiefs versus Lions. First game of the NFL season. I
Yeah.
thought it was pretty good. I really liked the game. Honestly,
Get Mahomes some help, please. Get that man
that
some help.
we
Yo,
talked
Travis
to,
Kelce needs to come back ASAP.
we
If they're
talked
gonna do
about
anything.
this earlier before the season started. Was that the Chiefs wide receiver room is really weak. Kadarius Tony's the number one guy, and he had
It's got
three.
to be bottom three in the league. It's got
Has
to
to be,
be.
has to be.
Yeah.
He had so many drops, and then one of the drops became a pick six. Like
Yeah. Really
that
bad.
was like the game deciding play. And without Kelsey, offense for like the first time looked a little difficult for the Chiefs. And that was
Yeah.
one thing that was actually kind of surprising was that the Chiefs offense didn't look like that well-oiled machine that we're used to seeing.
It's kind of crazy. Like Mahomes was still playing well. I mean, he had that one pick that wasn't his fault, but like if you count that out, he had no turnovers. I mean, he was throwing the ball on time. Like he was getting the ball to his receivers. They were just not catching it.
He
Sky
had,
Moore not catching the ball.
yeah,
Kadarius Toney not catching the ball.
yeah. And it kind of like, I mean, they traded Tyreek Hill. They like they invested in Chris Jones. They just gave him a contract.
Yeah, yeah.
Travis Kelsey's 33. They need a
Is he really
he's
33?
three he's 33.
Jeez, that's crazy.
Like, I mean, I believe in the Chiefs. I'm not gonna say anything bad about them, but they might need to get a wide receiver
Yeah,
now because this is
yeah. I
their
mean,
wide
I would,
receiver
I
room
would
is
have, I would have liked to see Odell sign there. That would have been fun.
Odell just chased the money, 18 mil. It's
Not
crazy.
even worth it. Not
Yeah,
even worth it. He got like three targets.
maybe the Chiefs go after Mike Evans or something like that.
Yeah, that would be a
That'd be
good
crazy.
signing. But
But they
it's got to be this year though. I mean, or next. I guess next
yeah,
season
because
when
he
he's free
yeah.
agent.
Looks like they're gonna trade him because they don't want to give him a contract. But it looks like the Chiefs really need another wide receiver. But also
They need some help.
one of the key stories in this game was the Chiefs' right tackle. Um, at first, I was like when I was watching the game and I was like looking at Twitter, I saw people talking about him and his false starts, and I saw it. He was like jumping early, but there was also when people did a deeper dive, they saw that he was tipping plays based on where he was lining up. Like he was like for like a pass play, for example, he would like line up his legs a little like further apart, and for a run
Uh,
play, he would be like closer together.
was he blocking Aiden Hutchinson?
Yeah,
And it
s-
didn't work. Aiden Hutchinson was cooking him.
exactly.
He
And
was cooking
and
him.
he was tipping plays, and that's the next thing I wanted to get into was the Lions' defense was really impressive. Their D line looked
Yeah.
great. They were very physical. They added
They
C.J.
look,
Gardner Johnson in the
yeah,
secondary,
that
and you
was
could really see
big
the
sign.
difference.
They look good. They look good.
And like this Lions team, I wanted to see them prove it before I went all in my preseason predictions. And I
Yeah.
think this game really shows that they're the same team they were last year, and they only gotten better.
Yeah.
And
Agreed.
like you were talking about earlier, though, like their offense. I mean, their offense didn't even dominate this game against the Chiefs, but they had enough plays to win.
Yeah.
Um,
The offense looks solid though. I mean, I like again, Josh Reynolds was another big playmaker. He's tall. He's physical. He
yeah,
looks strong. He catches the ball. Amon Ra, he knows how to. I feel like he's always open. Whenever he was getting the ball, he was always open in space.
yeah,
He scored a touchdown. David Montgomery scored a touchdown. Jameer Gibbs looked really good running the ball and catching the ball. The Lions, solid on defense, solid on offense, and good coaching. So
yeah. I want to see Gibbs get more touches because he was absolutely
yeah,
killing it.
I think I saw something that they just wanted to limit his touches. Thursday night game, his first game of his career. They just want to ease him into it a little bit. But I mean, I feel like he adapted well to the environment. It was rocking in Arrowhead. I mean, it looked absolutely insane in there. It looks super loud, so it's got to be a tough environment to play, especially for a rookie. And I feel like he received it well and played really good.
Yeah, I like the
I
Lions.
have him on my fantasy team, but yeah,
Yeah, Jameer. Like that 1-2 punch of Jahmyr Gibbs and Dave Montgomery in the backfield is going to be scary, and their offense across the
I
board
was
is stacked. Like their O
I was
line,
surprised. David Montgomery looked really good.
yeah,
Yeah. I mean, they
it's
got a good O line, and David Montgomery, maybe it's the new number, but he was running hard and physical. He looked good and
like
explosive.
they don't like their offense is going to be really good. Jared Goff is playing like a completely different quarterback than we saw with the Rams. A lot more improved behind that great O line.
I always thought that Jared Goff was a good quarterback, even with
Yeah,
the Rams.
they got weapons across the board, skill position players everywhere, and
Yeah,
now their defense is improved. I think the Lions. I mean, the Lions are going to be a playoff team. I think so, especially after
yeah,
this
for
game.
sure, for sure.
So, moving on to the game of Sunday, Miami versus the Chargers.
Yeah,
So,
I think we need to take a moment to appreciate Tua Tagovailoa
I am
because
not
that
taking a moment to appreciate Tua Tagovailoa, bro.
what
I
he balled out.
yeah,
He balled out, man. He looked great.
yeah, he did.
He looked great.
But I just think his ceiling is still gonna cap them, if I'm being honest. Like I saw,
Mhm.
yes, he looked great. Yes, he looked great.
He looked better than the Bill. They look better than the Bills. They look better
Yeah,
than the Jets.
ten
So
over 10 yards per attempt, the deepest of anyone so far in week
it
one.
definitely helps that he has Tyreek Hill and Jalen
Yeah,
Waddle. I mean, he early he was throwing the ball to Jalen Waddle, and then later Tyreek Hill. Like that's probably the best 1-2 punch um in the receiving department. Like
yeah.
Tyreek Hill and Jalen Waddle, they're the real deal.
Like I saw one play though in the first half before it got really out of hand with all the scoring. He just underthrew Tyreek, and I just think that could still be a problem when the Dolphins really needed to not be late in the season. Let's
But
say one of their
let's
own linemen get hurt and Tua's
yeah.
facing the pressure. I just think he could be a different quarterback. But
There was a there was another throw though late in the fourth quarter. They were down 4. I think it was 34-30 at the time. He stepped up in the pocket. It was 3rd and 10, like 3 minutes left in the game. It was beautiful. He stepped up in the pocket, threw a dime to Tyreek Hill on the right side of the field, which essentially won them the game.
yeah, he's very accurate, and
That was a really good throw.
also his stats. The only thing is like, yes, his stats also kind of lie because like half his attempts I feel like are like running attempts. The Dolphins barely rush the ball. Like his little screen passes, his little flicks, those are the running attacks. So like,
I thought he was throwing the ball down the field.
but
I
yeah,
mean,
he
you saw
was. He
stuff.
was.
Yeah,
10 yards per attempt he was throwing
yeah.
it to Tariq down the field. But I just think I'm just not a Tua fan. I'm sorry. But
I thought he was solid.
I was not impressed.
I thought he outplayed Justin Herbert.
I think he did too. But I don't think he's going to be doing that all the time. The Chargers, we'll get into them right in a second, but no, let's just get into it now. The Chargers, they disappointed me, man. Brandon Staley's a defensive coach. He's a defensive coach. But meanwhile, the Dolphins dropped 36 on you. You're a defensive
Yeah.
coach and you're playing man to man against the fastest team in the
Yeah.
league. Like what do you
There was another play. Gosh, what's his name? I forget. Defensive back on the Chargers, but he had
JC Jackson.
stupid pass interference.
Yeah,
call.
like and in the second half, they kick a field goal and guess what? They lost by a field goal. Like
Yeah,
come
stupid.
on, bro. This is just
That
so
was stupid.
Chargers.
Yeah, but the Dolphins defense don't look great either.
Yeah, but
Justin Herbert didn't have any turnovers, so that's good.
I mean, Justin Herbert just plays like. I just feel like I need more creativity on offense. I don't know if it's Brandon Staley. Like they just got Kellen Moore in there. I thought the offense was gonna look a little different, but it looks the same stale Chargers offense.
I mean, they put up 34 points.
Yeah, but like it's kind of like when they needed to come through most second half
Yeah, I mean,
game-winning drive.
They had a chance with the ball at the
Yeah,
end of the game.
they had the lead and they just kept squandering it.
Yeah.
It was just so hard to watch
I mean, they probably
sometimes.
lost it when it was 31-30. They had the ball again, and they just kicked the field goal, made it 34-30.
Yeah,
I mean, in a game like that, you got to score touchdowns.
yeah. And it's just like the Chargers. I saw here. I'm looking at the stats right now. The Chargers allowed 531 yards of offense at 8.2 yards per play. Like Brandon
Yeah,
Staley, bro, you're a defensive coach.
yeah.
Like when you look at teams around the league, they just hired all these new coaches. Brian Dable, offensive guy. Robert Saleh's a defensive guy. Um, I just use those for examples. Brian Dable in his first year fixed the Giants' offense. Robert Saleh in his second year fixed the Jets' defense. We were an elite unit in our second year. Brandon Staley's been on the Chargers for 4 years now, and they still have one of the worst defenses in the league. Like, figure out your side of the ball. Like, I get you may not be a great offensive creator. Think about Tomlin. Tomlin's not a great offensive creator. Bill Belichick, but they got their defenses locked in. Mike
Yeah.
McDaniel's offense was locked in, and he got Vic Fangio to
Mike
do the
McDaniel
defense.
is a gutsy coach. I really liked it. They went
Yeah,
for it on a fourth down. I forget when it was, but a crucial fourth down, converted, and like he, I like Mike McDaniel's a lot. Brandon Staley they probably need to figure something out.
I I don't know how we survived last season, but I'm just tired of the Chargers disappointing. So I'm gonna move on from talking about the Chargers, and I'm gonna talk about this Miami defense. They looked all right, but they came through so clutch at the end. Three big pressures, two sacks. Their D
Yeah,
line looked pretty elite at the end of that game. But it was also they were
yeah.
bringing the pressure. It was
They're
nice,
gonna
nice to
benefit a
watch.
lot when they get Jalen Ramsey back in December for the end of the season.
Yeah, like they don't have a top tier D line unit, but they have a pretty good D line unit.
Yeah.
So I'm excited from what I mean. I don't really want to see the Dolphins being good because I'm a Jets fan, but it was they
They're
were
gonna
they.
be better than you guys now, that's for sure.
That's facts. They look better.
When you guys play the Dolphins?
I don't know the exact date, but I think later in the season, maybe like week 5 or something like that. But yeah, Dolphins look based on week 1, and I don't want to overreact to week 1, but they're looking like they could win the division.
Oh, you guys play them on Thanksgiving.
Oh wow,
Dolphins
Tua.
money line.
Don't want to watch Tua. Anyway, let's move on to Giants Cowboys. I'll let you take this one as a Giants fan. How was that watching that?
Dude, the game was over in the first quarter. And all these Dallas Cowboys fans saying that, oh, we dominate you guys. Oh, you guys suck. Dude, the game was over in the first quarter. Dak Prescott, like the offense didn't have to do anything. They had 2 defensive touchdowns. They had, bro, that was some Madden, like some Madden shit. Like, you never see that. You don't see that. You don't see that. They blocked the field goal, return it all the way, and then and then they get a field goal. And then it's 9-0 at that point. They missed the extra point, like, okay. And then it's 9-0, and then we get the ball back. We're in our territory. Throw it to Saquon. I don't know if it was a fumble or an interception, but they throw it to Saquon. He coughs it up, and another defensive touchdown. I mean, the game was over. 16-0 in the first quarter. It was 16-0 in the first quarter. The
Yeah,
game was over. It was just so it was hard to watch. That's what it was. It was hard to watch. Like
yeah. The Cowboys dominated. Their D line is insane. Michael
their
Parsons
D line
is
is
insane.
ridiculous. Their D line is ridiculous. But our offensive line looked really bad too. But
Yeah,
it helps that we were playing like one of the top defensive lines in the league. Like we're not going to be playing Mike Parsons every single week. So,
yeah.
but it was fun, man.
Dallas came out like they wanted to make a statement, and they really
Yeah, and
did.
they did, and they
They
did.
did.
Yeah, they did. They really came in to MetLife Stadium on a Sunday night, first week of the season, and won 40-0.
Better not do that next week.
40-0. Oh yeah. Jets
Yeah,
Cowboys, right?
yeah.
Yeah. In
But
Dallas.
yeah, I just I don't know, like the Giants. Once they got blown out so fast, like the game was over. Like the players knew
Yeah.
it. There was no
The
no
Giants
saving the
played really
fans'
bad and
energy.
just made the Cowboys look good.
Yeah, I was
Like, I'm sorry.
I
I'm
was really
sorry.
surprised by that
I
result.
didn't I didn't see anything special out of the Dallas Cowboys besides they have a dominant defensive line and special teams. Like
Yeah, Dak didn't have to do anything, so I mean, if you wanna,
didn't do anything.
yeah,
Tony Pollard had 2 touchdowns, like on the goal line.
it was crazy though. What's it called? I saw this one thing on Instagram. It was Michael Parsons on his podcast hours after the game talking about the Giants should have took out Daniel Jones earlier. It's like You were the one
Yeah.
hitting Daniel Jones, and now you're talking about how they should have
I mean,
took him out.
he had no choice. I mean, he's right. Brian Dable should have taken him out. I mean, they were down. He was still playing
Yeah,
in the fourth quarter. Terrible weather conditions. It's pouring rain. Everybody was soaked. Your offensive line is shitting the bed. Like the Cowboys are getting to Daniel Jones like relentlessly without any
yeah.
resistance.
It was like as
And
soon as
there's
he
no
got the snap, he had
distraction.
to like run.
You just paid that man an absurd amount of money and you're risking injury. So I felt like he should have taken him out. But I mean, geez, the Giants got dominated. Like that was really hard to watch.
Yeah. So let's move on to another New York team, the Jets. So we talked about the injury earlier, and I kind of let's stay away from the injury and let's focus on the game. So once Zach Wilson came in, um, I was my take was like, let's see how he plays. Like maybe this new training camp with Rodgers, he looked good, and from what I saw was the same bad quarterback I saw last year. That one pick to Matt Milano was an awful read. Like I could tell the guy wasn't open. Like throw it to
Yeah.
Lazard underneath. That like he was literally just threw it right to Milano. And that was just that's like pure Zach Wilson right there. That's like his that's what he does. But he did make some nice plays. But the thing that I really saw out of him though was like in the Jets offense after Rodgers got hurt was that they were so scared to throw the ball more than like 5 yards on the field. Everything was run, everything was screen pass, and by the time it got to the end of the fourth quarter, the Bills knew it, and it was looking really, really shaky for us to hold on to that lead.
Yeah. I mean, good thing Josh Allen was like playing terrible. Like that was so bad. Four turnovers. Your
Yeah,
defense winning the game. Like that was really bad. I feel like the Bills came in there like thinking that it was going to be a dogfight with Aaron Rodgers behind the center, and then he went down, and then the Bills probably like had a big exhale, and
yeah,
we're like, okay, now we're gonna steamroll them, and then it was just a game like the whole way.
yeah. I mean, this is kind of like this reminds me of the game that we won against the Bills last year. Like almost the exact same type of game. Defense, running attack. I mean, Brees Hall coming off his ACL, I didn't think he was gonna play this
He looked
much.
good. He
10
looked good.
carries, 127 yards. Like it was
Yeah.
actually insane. The O line was
Yeah.
getting some push on run games, but their pass protection was just really, really bad. And I mean, like the Bills have a really good D line unit, and Von Miller was out, but they still. I mean, that's how they hurt Rodgers. But I'm just saying in general, like they were really pressuring the quarterback all the
Our
time.
offensive line looked worse than your offensive line, though.
Yeah. I mean, like we still. I feel like our the poorness of our offensive line is a little bit overstated, but it's not like we have a great unit anyway. So,
Yeah, yeah.
but
I mean, the Bills. That was disappointing. Like
yeah.
that was disappointing out of the Bills. I don't ever want to see that again from Josh Allen.
This is
Like,
but this is who Josh Allen is though. Like
no, it's not.
this is who he
No,
is.
it's
He wants to be Superman.
not.
Like what I saw from the Bills is the same Bills team, the same flawed team that we've been seeing for the past couple years. They have no running attack still. Their old line is
Yeah,
still mid. So they put
yeah,
all the pressure on Josh Allen to make all the plays and he tries to be
yeah,
Superman, trying to be a little over aggressive and make some really, really bad plays. Like
yeah,
that one of those picks to I think Gabe Davis or Stephon Diggs in the end zone when he was running that post route. The Bills
yeah.
were driving on the Jets that they were
There was a couple really bad interceptions that he threw.
yeah.
But I blame the front office too. The front office too for not bringing in like a running back, for not
They need to fix
changing
that
up
O
the
line
defense or something.
because
Yeah, offensive line.
I mean James Cook had some moments where he looked pretty good, Dalvin Cook's little
Yeah,
brother,
yeah.
but
Oh,
it
is
was
that his little brother?
yeah,
Oh, that's fine.
but he
That's
didn't.
fine.
I saw his stats at the end of the game. It was only like 3.5 yards per carry and like not like super productive, but he has some potential, and it's. I just think they need to like
He's
figure out.
fast. He's fast.
Yeah, he's not bad, but they're. How many years now have the Bills not had a running game, and how many years has their O line been not good? Like,
They haven't
I,
had a running game since LaShawn McCoy.
yeah, they gotta like. If the Bills don't figure that out and figure a way to take the pressure off Josh Allen, it's gonna be another disappointing year for them. And I don't. I mean, the Bills are too good at it. Like
Yeah, that would be just like they're probably like I don't know.
I mean, this
Just
is this is why they
I hope
can't
they're
get over
not
the
a
hump.
disappointing team. I hope they're not disappointing this
Yeah,
year. I
like
like when the Bills are competitive and they're good.
yeah,
It's
like
fun. It's fun
I like
because
Josh
they're a fun
Allen.
team.
He's explosive. Like he's fun to watch, but like they need to figure out a way to take some pressure off of him so he's feels comfortable taking the easy throws because right now he's trying to go for it sometimes. Like he really was trying to throw the ball to just throw it to try to make a play instead of finding the open guy. And that's where
Yeah,
that
exactly. That's what I'm saying. He probably thought that he could just do whatever he wanted. Like
yeah.
I don't know. I don't know why he thought the Jets would just like roll over and hand them the win. But
Yeah, I mean another thing I want to talk about with the Jets is that their defense is elite. I mean Sauce Gardner didn't even play well, but DJ Reed played great. I mean their D
uh,
line is scary, bro. Their D line is scary. They just got guys coming in every single time that like will just take your head off. It's cracked. I love it. I love it.
yeah,
It's
I think this Dallas game should be a good game. Finally, get to see Dallas' offense and
yeah.
let's see what happens with the Jets. I
I'm
mean,
just
Stephon Diggs was kind of giving it to Sauce Gardner a little bit.
yeah, a little bit. I think Sauce Gardner was playing a little too much video games this summer, so he got to lock in. But the thing about the Jets though is that I mean, we won it off a special teams play. Our offense was not going to score again, so we need a
That was dope to see Xavier Gibson return that.
hard knock superstar.
Yeah, I
But
feel like there's always one of those, for
and
these players.
Chad Surratt, another hard knocks guy with a crucial block, which might have been
Yeah.
tripping, but they didn't call it. So
I didn't think it was. I thought he tripped himself, and like
yeah,
there was nothing you could do about
it
it.
was like accidental tripping. So
Yeah,
whatever you want to call that, whatever. Anyway, I think the Jets
yeah.
though, we need to get a real quarterback in here. And I think
There's some options.
let's start talking about some of these options. I see. All right,
You got
Jacoby
Jacoby
Brissett
Brissett,
is I
Andy
think
Dalton.
he's my number one option. Andy Dalton, I mean at least the guy is like competent. Colt McCoy, he's competent, but think about this. I'm going for below average. Like that's my quarterback now. Like it
How
just
about this? How about this? You know what would work even like better in your favor? Say hypothetically, if Aaron Rodgers is done and he's not going to play next season, you should just tank. You should just tank and
no.
just play for next year, bro.
We're,
Caleb Williams is
bro,
like that. You
if
can
we
get Caleb
tank
Williams if you just lose every single game.
if we
He's
tank
nice.
if we tank Joe Douglas, Robert Saleh are fired. Everyone's
No,
leaving. We can't be taking. Yeah, bro. They're
no. It's
if we
got to
don't make
be
the
a collective effort, a collective team effort. Everybody has to be on it, including Robert Saleh. Everybody has to be in on
if we don't make the playoffs
it.
this year, Salah and Joe Douglas are gone, bro. They're
No,
done.
no way,
That
no
bro,
way.
bro, the owner practically said it, bro, when we missed the playoffs. He practically said it. He was tight.
This is Saleh's what, second year,
Third. This is
third year.
this is a big year. If we don't make the playoffs this year, he's gone. So, and then
Caleb
back
Williams,
to
man.
dysfunction. So I don't want that to happen. But
Yeah,
we need a legit quarterback in here. Can't watch another season of Zach Wilson. And there's some options. So, and I think the Jets, on Twitter, I saw a report that they're looking at veteran options. So that's good because they know
yeah.
that.
Well, that's what you guys get for drafting a quarterback from BYU.
I like one trade target I like is Dorian Thompson Robinson
What
on
about Trey Lance?
no he sucks too. Oh, that kid on the Browns is nice, but we need. I like Brissett the most just because like
Brissett.
I've seen him do it last season.
Yeah, Brissett's probably like the most viable
Yeah,
option. And Andy Dalton would ruin you guys. Matt Ryan would ruin you guys. Colt McCoy would ruin you guys.
Jameis, it'd be fun. I mean, at
That would
least
be
Jameis can make plays, but he'll turn the
because
ball over way too
he
much.
would come in there. He would come in there like actually trying to fill the shoes of Aaron Rodgers and overstep his role, and it would just be a disaster.
Yeah, I don't want Jameis in New York. I don't. Anyway,